It's all fun and games till someone gets shot.
Tekken 8 is finally, I would say, coming out of the darkness. A couple of weeks ago, it was real grim. They were slamming mods, they were getting a lot of bad press, people were angry, but it seems like we're beyond that. The community is starting to heal. The game is starting to grow once again. It's alive. Look no further than the Megan Thee Stallion Christine crossplay. That was huge. Even if you don't like the character or know who the character is, that's still a really big thing for Tekken. When you focus on its content creators, one of the greatest, FeeDX, has reached 100,000 subscribers. In the same week, FeeDX was sponsored by Disguised Chipotle. That's incredible. Also, congratulations. In another part of the world for Tekken 8, there was a $1 million tournament that was announced. Esports World Cup. This comes from Saudi Arabia. They plan to do multiple different tournaments all over the world to find the 32 qualifying players to compete for this $1 million prize. Now, this is separate from the Tekken World Tour, but once again, this just shows the hype that this game is getting, the levels of intensity it's reaching. You have the Tekken World Tour and you have the Esports World Cup. That's two main event tournaments for one game. And then also, let me not forget, the Slam Slam 2 is back again. This tournament last time had an amazing viewership. I just show you all of these different things to just highly emphasize that the game is coming back stronger than ever. And not only that, but the game is so successful. To more so emphasize this on the developer end, because we know these things about the players, the content creators, and also tournament organizers, but the developers themselves, they are also working very hard to take feedback and make a better game. They just released this survey. It takes about 20 minutes to complete. I got halfway through it and I tapped out. But once again, they're just trying to take that information, that feedback, and make a better game. You also can never forget that Harad is always listening to players and thinking about new things, new ideas to put into the game. Yes, some of these, maybe a lot of these, will never come to fruition, but the fact that he's just open to suggestions this way is amazing. But here's the thing. When we talk about true success, especially for a company, they focus on one thing and one thing only. That's money. That's sales. We know Tekken 8 was selling incredibly well. It slowed down when they started to get a little controversial. I would say it's picking back up. They just released their record highest net sales in 2023. Armored Core 6, Tekken 8, and Elden Ring are all performing well. In this news article, it just goes into a little bit of details about what Bandai Namco announced at this, I think it was like a shareholder event. And this is just really good information, so I just want to break this down to you guys very briefly. It says Bandai Namco Holdings have published their consolidated financial report for the past fiscal year. This is April 1st, 2023 to March 31st, 2024. In 2023 fiscal year, the company recorded its highest net sales and net income to date. But it saw a 22.1% year-over-year decrease in operating profits. Now, they give us a little breakdown box at the bottom. Net sales is just over 100 million yen. That's up by 6.1%. For those of you who don't know, that's roughly $6 billion. Now, the last one, this is what's really important. Final income, that's 101 million yen. That loosely translates to $651 million. That's a lot of money. It goes on to say, according to Bandai Namco presentation, the company net sales and income exceeds 1 trillion yen and 1 billion yen respectively in the past year, setting a new record. The biggest contributors to these figures, products and service related to IPs such as Gundam, Dragon Ball, and One Piece. Now, when we talk about guest characters, I know. I think Tekken should most certainly do a Dragon Ball, One Piece, or a Gundam guest character. I feel like the numbers don't lie. That's their biggest money makers. You might as well put Tekken in that. Let's continue. Bandai Namco's best performing businesses were its toy and hobby sector and amusement sector, while its digital business sector, i.e. video games, saw a year-over-year decrease in profits. Losses are attributed to the newly launched online game largely underperforming, as well as Bandai Namco disposing of titles on their lineup. Now what this is talking about is basically they had a really big game that they were trying to push. It was supposed to be the Genshin Impact killer. Their game flopped. It flopped hard. A lot of people say that's why they're putting all this monetization in Tekken 8 to make up for that loss. That's just a guess. It's not confirmed. But then when you talk about them disposing of other titles, you got to keep in mind they also canceled 5 games. That means those games were in development and they said no, stop. At the same time, this is where Tekken 8 comes in. At the same time, the report highlights the strong performance of mobile apps and video game titles such as Armored Core 6, Tekken 8, and Elden Ring. Repeat sales of Elden Ring, which released back in 2022, exceeded expectations thanks to the announcements of the DLC. Bandai Namco's goal for the following year is to balance out their portfolio and also focus on developing high quality titles. Now Tekken 8 kind of plays a small role in this, but a very important role. These 3 games are really what's making a lot of money for Bandai Namco, which also means they're going to want to continue supporting the game and building the game and making it better. Like I said at the start, it did hit some hurdles, it did stumble and trip a little bit, but Bandai Namco is going to recover like never before. And I think once we get past season 1, if the leaks are true, snooze fest. But once we get into season 2, I think things are going to get a lot more exciting and a lot more interesting. Keep in mind, with Tekken 7, that's when things really got cooking. From that point on, it was through the roof, and I see Tekken 8 doing the same thing.